Success is 70% mindset, 20% skill set, and 10% tool set. And in today's video, I'll be sharing with you 7 strategies that I have been using to become a smarter and successful leader. Now, success in leadership often hinges upon acquiring new knowledge, acquiring new skills, and then applying those skills, applying that knowledge in your everyday job to make yourself better and your team better so that you can create a strategy and execute on that strategy to achieve the goals for your organization. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Before I get started, a quick reminder to 95% of you who haven't yet subscribed to my channel to do so now, and click on the notification bell icon so that you can be notified every time I release a new video. I put a lot of time and energy into building these videos for you, and your subscription means the world to me. Your subscription lets me know that you find value in the content that I bring to you. It helps with channel growth and it inspires me to create more videos for you. And now that we have you subscribed, let's get started. The first habit that I have developed, or the first strategy that I use, is to read more often. Every day, I carve out about 30 minutes of my time in the morning to read something new. This could be via articles, this could be on internet, but I basically read something new every day. I spend time on LinkedIn looking at the influencers and the content that they are posting. I look at Forbes and I look at Business Insider and a few other publications. Basically, what I'm looking for is any information around technology, groundbreaking work that's happening in technology, specifically in the Gen AI and AI space where I'm focused right now. Also, what's happening in the corporate world? How is the leadership evolving? What new business strategies are organizations coming up with? That's of a lot of interest to me. So I spend 30 minutes religiously every day to learn something new. And if I can squeeze in more time, I'll definitely do that. But the intent over here is that I do not want to miss out on information. I want to gather as much information as possible and leverage it in my everyday work. Not just reading is not enough, right? So there's a second strategy for that, and that is to be able to contextualize that reading. What I effectively do is that when I'm reading, I take some notes. I summarize what I'm learning. Sometimes the information is easy enough to stick, but other times it does require that mind connection. There's studies that show that when you write something, it sticks to your brain for longer, because what happens is that you're spending more time in really absorbing that information as opposed to just reading. So what I do is I summarize that information, and then I spend 5 minutes to really understand in which context I would be able to leverage that information. So typically when you learn something new, there's not just one context in which you can use it. For example, if I learned about an AI tool today, I would think about how learning about this new tool is going to help me in the next keynote that I deliver, in the next coaching session that I have with the coachee, in the next advisory call that I have with the startup that I am advising, in my next LinkedIn post. Where all can I leverage this information? And that contextualization is the key. Otherwise, you can keep gathering information, and that information you won't be able to leverage it because you haven't spent time to understand how you're going to make that knowledge your own. How are you going to translate that knowledge into real application, and how are you going to use it? So that's important. And that is the gap that I see many people have. They would do a lot of reading, but then when the time comes to leverage that reading that they have done, they don't know how to connect those dots. Spending those 5 minutes right after you have learned something to summarize it and think about how you're going to go about contextualizing it makes all the difference. Then the next step is, as you're contextualizing it, you'll have a lot of questions. So asking right questions is important. Early on in my career, as I would go into meetings, my goal and agenda was to show others how much I knew. Today, I have realized that my agenda going into those meetings is to learn something new every day from everyone. So I ask a lot of questions. I ask the why and the how and the what questions. The next strategy that I want to talk about that I have been using extensively now is leveraging experiences to learn something new. I'm a very poor learner in a classroom. If you put me in a classroom for 3 to 5 days and ask me to gather all the information and then leverage it, I would not be successful. I learn from experiences. I learn from conversations. I learn from people and how they think about technology, how they think about leadership. And that's why in my schedule, I have always made space for attending conferences, attending virtual summits, attending events. I love when people contextualize the information that they are sharing. There's so many viewpoints that you get to know about. For example, I was recently speaking at an AI conference. As part of that conference, I also got an opportunity to host a panel. And in that panel, there was one woman leader who was talking about autonomous vehicles. I learned so much from that conversation from her. I can tell you that I wouldn't have been able to learn that much if I was just reading an article. She contextualized it for me, the challenges that the industry is facing right now, what kind of legal consequences and policies that they need to consider while building something like that. That is the kind of information that I really love, that helps me become smarter as a leader as I start thinking about various AI solutions, as I start thinking about what next Forbes article I'm going to write, as I start thinking about how I'm going to start talking about some of these pieces to the startup CEOs that I'm advising. So that's what helps me. And that's why I spend a lot of time in experiences. So if you haven't really spent a lot of time attending conferences or virtual summits or events, I would say that make the best use of it. Say yes to those events, go in. It's a completely different experience when you learn in a three-dimensional environment where you are learning from a speaker, but you're also learning from other participants, and then you are evolving your own thoughts around a subject area, as opposed to just reading an article in a very one-dimensional format, if you will. Another strategy that I have used over years is critical thinking. Now, when you think about a leader's role, especially when you're faced with challenges, you have to evaluate the information thoroughly before making decisions. And this means considering various viewpoints and potential outcomes. Over a period of time, I've built diverse teams, and each team member brings their own set of lived experiences into the conversation. Each team member, I've realized, has a different way of interpreting a solution. And in today's world where we are creating products and services for a diverse customer base, it's important that we take everybody's viewpoint into consideration. I'm not saying that you get to a point where no work gets done because we are just considering viewpoints. I'm saying that what you need to do is, as you craft out those solutions, as you solve those complex problems, it's important to have various perspectives so that you can look at the holistic picture and make a decision, as opposed to having a very one-dimensional approach to solving a problem. Here's another thing that I want to point out. As leaders, we are expected to know a lot. We are so expected to be smarter, but being smarter does not mean being an expert in every subject area. Being smarter means that you know how to tap into the resources that you have to get the right kind of information that you need. And critical thinking allows you to do that. The next thing that I want to talk about is application of knowledge. Early on in my career, I would go to a lot of these leadership development programs, and they were great 5-day programs. There'll be some aha moments. We would learn something, and then we would come back and say, all that knowledge was great, but it doesn't apply to my current role. And that's why we would never apply. And I'll tell you that I've forgotten so much about those concepts that I learned because there was never an opportunity to apply. Today, if I learn something new, what I want to do is I want to apply it right away. I look for opportunities to apply. For example, I recently learned about a couple of tools, AI tools, that help you design presentations and that help you create various forms of digital products with a single input. And that was exciting for me. I brought that knowledge back to my team. We experimented with it. We figured out whether we wanted to move forward with some of those implementations or not. But essentially what it helped us do was it helped us identify what are the different options that are available. So next time when we want to think about productivity differently and bring in some of those tools, we've already gotten some level of application on it. We know how to work through that. Applying that knowledge that you have gathered is what makes you smarter. So please just don't focus on gathering the knowledge. It's equally important to apply that knowledge as well. And the next strategy that I want to talk about is probably the most important strategy, and that's giving your mind a rest. In the fast-paced tech landscape that we are living in today, every time you blink, there's a new tool or service that's being put out there. How do you prevent your mind from fatigue? Because when your mind is tired, you can't learn anything new, you can't be productive, your output suffers. So when you start thinking about leveraging all that knowledge that you have acquired, you have to also think about giving your brain that optimal environment in which it can thrive, in which it can absorb the knowledge and then make that knowledge available to you when you want it. And that's why giving your mind a rest becomes really, really important. I've created strategies for myself and my team in terms of how to take frequent breaks, how to ground yourself, how to rest your mind. I go for long walks. I have a lot of walk and talk meetings where I can really think about things differently. So changing the environment that you are in, resting up, giving your mind some break is really important as you start thinking about being a smarter leader. Because remember, a smarter leader is a more productive leader, not just for themselves but also for their teams. So those are the 7 strategies that I use to become a smarter leader. I would love to hear from you. What strategies are you using to become smarter? So that was it for today's video. If you liked this video, make sure to like, subscribe and share. Your sharing, your subscribing means the world to me. I'll see you next week with yet another video. Till then, have a successful week. Bye-bye.